That's the nice thing for being a component and subsystem manufacturer. Yeah. You can go on every rocket, on every mission. And that's also our goal, to be on every mission to do these big things in space.
Hey, SpaceWatchers. This is Space Café Radio, your channel about trends, great people and awesome events. Doing big things in space. What a statement. What a statement of Dr. Thomas Sinn of D-Cubed. At the 38th Space Symposium in Colorado Springs, I had the chance to meet on the opening day with Thomas, the founder and CEO of D-Cubed, to talk about his company, the market, the current investment round, and how small things can make a difference. I'm Torsten, publisher of SpaceWatch.Global. Enjoy this conversation. I have the chance to sit together now with Dr. Thomas Sinn of D-Cubed in Germany. We are sitting here at the Space Symposium in Colorado Springs. And my first question to Thomas is, D-Cubed has a slogan and it's do big things in space. What does it mean? Can you give us some explanation? Because it sounds pretty good and pretty big.
Yes, that was our whole idea of doing big things in space, because we really would like to do very big things in space, and we kept it quite open what that thing is, because we are having the goal to make very big structures in space, doing in-orbit assembly and in-space manufacturing of these big things. And we also want to enable our customers. So that's why we have this roadmap of products that we are bringing out. We are starting with the release device, then the deployables, and then these really big structures in space that helps also our customers to do these big things in space.
Thomas, can you tell our audience where the name D-Cubed comes from?
D-Cubed is actually our second name. Originally, we were Deployables Cubed. The idea behind the name was that we want to do deployable structures, which are unfolding structures, and we want to have them stored in a cube-size format. It was like deployables cubed, but then we are a German company and we have to deal with the DHL, and they were always wondering, what is deployables? And especially when they were like trying to say deployables, it was horrible. So that's why 3 years ago, we decided to shorten the name. So we kept the cubed and we just shortened the D to D-Cubed.
Okay.
That's how it originated.
Tell us a bit more about the company, how big you are. So when did you start it?
Yeah, so it all started in 2018. In my former job, we had an opportunity to fly on Rocket Lab, its business time mission, so just the first commercial mission and the third mission overall. The issue was that they said, you can fly with us, but the hardware needs to be with them in 3 months, because back then they were not certified for NASA payloads, and they had to kick a NASA payload off, and we got on. And I did not find the mechanism that we need to release these deployable structure. And I could not believe it. There's nothing around worldwide. So I took all my holidays together, got a 3D printer and starting designing this release actuator. And then we went from one competition to next funding. And we always said, okay, if this is working, if someone is interested in a product, we continue. Because back then it was all in the part-time, in the free time. It was then just in 2019 that we got the Exist funding, where it was like, okay, I quit my job and then start Cubed full-time. Wow. And since then, I never regretted it.
You're part of the German space ecosystem. What makes you unique? Or what makes your products unique? You just gave a hint that these release mechanisms were not available worldwide. I can't believe that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought too. Why are these actuators not available? I could not believe it. And the unique selling point that we have is that these actuators that we built are available within just weeks, because back then we had some American suppliers that were delivering them within 4 or 5 months. And we only had 3 months of time to finish the experiment and ship it off to New Zealand, or actually bring it to New Zealand to the rocket site. And that's was what we really wanted to bring home as a uniqueness, to have this readily available products commercially off the shelf. And that's also what we are a little bit different to the rest of the European ecosystem, because our goal is to have products that can be just bought. You don't need to have a development cycle. You can just say, okay, I put a credit card down and I will just buy it from our online shop.
That's really a story to tell. I guess you flew your first missions already. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so the first mission we actually had in last year, 2022, it was with SpaceX Transporter 3, where we were flying 5 release actuators, 4 with a customer from Spain. And in parallel, we are doing also our in-orbit demonstration mission with a customer from Poland. And it was actually all of the D-Cubed team came together in a brewery in Germering, where our company is. And we had a big launch party.
You're Bavarian. You always meet in breweries.
Yeah, that had to be, because it was also a craft brewery. We had the screen up. And then the interesting thing was that because we are releasing these satellites from the rocket, we got immediate feedback from SpaceX if it worked or not. So at the launch, the whole room was completely quiet because the excitement was just building up. And then when SpaceX called out these 4 satellites within like 5 minutes, it was always quiet. The first one, the second one, the third one. But when the 4th came and then, D-Cube deployed, the whole room was going crazy. And it was a fun evening at the end.
But with the deployment, then your job is done. So there's no science mission things measurement. It's just release something and then done.
Yeah, that is for the release actuators. We have now applications, or most of the applications is for releasing satellites from the rocket. Mm-hmm. But we also see it as general hold down release. So anything that should not move on the rocket and move in space. For example, movable optics, motors, we are holding down. And as soon as it gets to space, it releases. We launched so far on 4 missions to space, Transporter 3, 4, and 5. And now it's also Transporter 8 coming up just in June with the next products. That's the nice thing for being a component and subsystem manufacturer. Yeah. You can go on every rocket, on every mission. And that's also our goal, to be on every mission to do these big things in space.
And you produce the release activators more or less off the shelf, or is it on demand with the 2 weeks, 3 weeks lead time? So how does it work?
Our goal is to always have them on the shelf. Of course, it depends on the numbers that are being requested. So right now, we are able to deliver 50 right on the spot.
Within what time frame?
Within 2 weeks.
Okay.
And our goal is to build it up to 100, 200, maybe 1,000. We see more and more demand for these release devices going in the hundreds and thousands. Yeah. And now it's up for us to build up the serial production and have the stock available, because the customer just wants it, and they want it now for their mega constellations, for their micro launchers.
You told me earlier that you guys are on your way to an investment round. What does make D-Cube interesting for investors?
So the thing is that, as I mentioned just now, we are getting more and more requests for having these larger quantity orders. And now we need to transition from producing just like 5 or 10 per week to producing hundreds of these actuators. And this is what we want to use the funding round for, to build up this capability. And we also would like to scale up our whole marketing and sales operation, because we have been able to at least triple our revenue for the last 3 years. The market in space is growing like crazy. It's like almost every day I hear of a new space company. That's what's also exciting here at the Space Symposium. I walked through the exhibition hall just now on my way here, and there was, again, companies that I never heard of before.
Indeed.
And I normally go to quite a lot of conferences, so like one every like 2 months or every month, and it's still companies coming up. So space is where it's at right now.
Can you give us an idea, and our audience, we also have some investors in our audience, which size of Series A I think you're looking for? And are these exclusively European investors or also international American investors? What is your wish investor?
Yeah, so our wish investor is someone that is a strategic investor that will also help us to get into new markets. And we are actively looking at American investors, because we see that 80% of our customers are here in the States. And our goal is to set up shop here, to open an office up very soon, to do sales and distribution, and then maybe after a while doing also R&D development. So we think that the US ecosystem is where it's at. Our customers are here. Now we should be also here.
I was about to ask how important the US is compared to Europe or Asia for you, but you answered already. So if I got it right, you're about to set up a shop here.
First, just the sales and distribution, because we see that the last mile delivery always going through custom is sometimes a little bit unpredictable, and we just want to make it easier for our customer to have it just delivered on the doorstep. They don't need to worry about anything. The thing is, when you look at the European and American market, we see that American companies are much more willing to take a risk, and they just say, okay, we have this new design, we need release devices, but we don't know yet how it will work. So they just order a few of them, try it. In Europe, it's more, there's more documentation involved, and then you make a design study. And here it's just like they see the product, and then the next day we get a call and they just order it and we ship it.
We hear about that a lot, but is it still the truth? Does it happen?
Yeah, especially here at these conferences. I can tell you from the small sat, we had one customer that came by with one person in the first day, then 3 person on the second day. And then a week later, he just ordered 5 of the pieces. And we actually started now a very close collaboration partnership also with them, because our goal is always to not have single off customer, but really do a more partnership with them to also then have our products on all the missions that come afterwards. So our ideal customer is really like mega constellation builder, satellite builder, subsystem builder, or micro launchers.
What can we expect from you? What can we expect from D-Cubed in the year to come?
We are right now expanding our serial production capabilities in the release actuators. Yeah. But we are also, since 2 years, we are diving into the more the deployables field. Solar arrays, we're doing a lot. We started with the origami folded 100-watt solar array. But most of the customers say, okay, this crazy concept with the origami folding is good for the second, third mission, but not the first one. That's why we also started now doing more rigid solar panels, more conventional solar panels. And we develop technologies that can be also then used in a deployable reflector array. So everything that is flat and needs to be stowed, this is what we are doing. And so you'll see a couple of customers launching our solar array products. And maybe there's also something very cool mission coming up with our reflector arrays, but that's more in the next 3-4 months to tell. I think we need to do another one of these.
Absolutely. We are following you for a while, and we are happy to have a next one whenever you are available. Is there anything you would like to address to our audience, which I didn't ask so far?
It's amazing what is going on in the space industry right now. It's not just there are new companies coming up every day. It's like also new application cases are coming up, because we thought 4 years ago when I started the company, the release device is our main product. It will be just used for triggering the release of deployable structures. But now our customers know us and they come to us with application cases. Like imagine that we are going now to the moon with 2 customers and NASA, that we are going on a ESA mission to deep space, that we are most likely going with NASA to Mars. It's like crazy that we would not have thought about it. But that's the nice thing with new space, especially with the US customers, because they always surprise you with the use cases they find for space. Because at the end, I see new space solving the problems that we have on Earth by using commercial space. And I'm very happy to be a part of that. And at the end, our products are needed by every single satellite, every single launcher. And we're happy to go to LEO, MEO, GEO, Moon, Mars, and beyond.
Thank you very much for your time, and good luck with the investment series, and we will follow you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
If you have further questions, reach out to us at radio@SpaceWatch.Global. If you like these or other episodes of Space Café Radio, leave us a rating on your preferred podcast platform. It is the currency of today. And if you want to stay on the pulse of the space industry, please visit our website at www.SpaceWatch.Global and subscribe to our newsletters. And of course, don't forget to become a Space Watcher. I'm Thorsten Triening, publisher at SpaceWatch.Global, your independent perspective on space.